Michael, Dennis Rodman probably would have wound up in prison, for example. Michael made sure that he got into practice. He drove that team. Obviously, it was a triangle, and there was Phil Jackson and everything. But Doug, the leadership, the difference between Michael and LeBron James, LeBron is probably a better overall athlete from top to bottom than Michael is. But I would rate Michael as a better overall leader who drove the other individuals on that team to be better. That run of the Bulls, that was not a great basketball team, but it was a great group of guys who responded to Jordan's leadership. There was no question about it. Scottie Pippen, great player, but he wasn't the leader. Jordan made everybody just a little bit better. And listen, I did so many of those games. You'd go to a hotel when the Bulls were coming in, okay, and they would come in maybe the night before the game the next night. I'm going to tell you something. The most beautiful women in the world that I've ever seen in a hotel waiting for arrival of a team, that was the Chicago Bulls group, okay? It was off the charts. I mean, it was standing room only in every pub that you were around, the team hotels and everything. I mean, they lived the life. And Michael's father would come around. He was always on those road trips with the Chicago Bulls. Unfortunately, he was murdered that night in a highway shot. But he was fun to talk with. Michael didn't reveal to the media a lot of things. He kept them kind of private and to himself. He was always, if you had to ask him something about a game, sure, he could tell you stories. He opened up a little bit more on a golf course, actually. I was in a couple of tournaments, not in his group, but I was in a couple of those tournaments that you played in the middle of the week, and he always enjoyed himself tremendous. A great leader, okay? It's interesting the ratings have been so strong. That was the strongest the league ever had as far as television ratings for the finals. Was that run of the Chicago Bulls, and they're back at it. So it was a time for the storytellers to move front and center. And think about him just stepping away for that 1 year and going to play minor league baseball. I've talked to a lot of umpires actually who spoke about him, and they said, he worked really hard. He wasn't a natural baseball player, but he was pretty good. He wasn't that bad. And it was interesting talking to the guys. I'm a huge fan of Michael. Remember that day, that era when he was with the Tar Heels? People don't realize how much better college basketball was back then in Jordan's era, because we're not one and done. These guys stuck around for 2 or 3 years, and that night when he hit that jump shot for Dean Smith and that beat Georgetown, people tend to forget James Worthy was on that team. Shane Perkins was on that team. I mean, we're talking about a heck of a college basketball team. So as you can tell, I'm a huge fan of he was just an unbelievable force. But he drove that bus, believe me.
All right, last thing, brother, we got to go. Every time you used to call games on TV, I know now even on radio, everybody wants to know who Brent has money on. We just take the ratings out of the equation. You saw the schedules come out last night. Who did Uncle Brent lean towards in terms of playing the Super Bowl in Tampa next year?
Well, I'm going to go to Kansas City, obviously. Okay, I take the Chiefs, and I'm going to, we've got to have a long shot. I guess I'm pulling for New Orleans to finally get in, finally break through, okay? But I'm going to say the Philadelphia Eagles will wind up representing the NFC against Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs will be 6.5. And I'm on the Chiefs. Lay the points. Take the Chiefs. The one and only Brent Musburger. Brent, it's an honor and a pleasure. Thanks so much. Thanks, Doug. Take care. Good luck.
All right, this is the best. Brent Musburger, the voice of the Raiders. Of course, he has his own radio show as well. Just an absolute legendary broadcaster, a good friend. My favorite NFL matchup for Thursday Night Football on Fox. I'll tell you what it is next.
This is the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. Fire it up. NASCAR is coming back. Here it comes. The NBA is
go online, your personal information seems like a ping pong ball bouncing up and down. Not too hard to keep track of, right? But when you connect to public Wi-Fi, log on to financial accounts, or buy something on your smartphone, well, your personal information feels like it's playing with a bunch of ping pong balls bouncing out of control. And that you can expose your info to cyber criminals. More threats demand more protection, which is why Norton and LifeLock are part of one company. Norton 360 with LifeLock is an all-in-one membership for your cyber safety with device security, identity theft protection, a VPN for online privacy, and more. No one can prevent all cybercrime and identity theft, but Norton 360 with LifeLock is your ally in today's connected world. After all, your info isn't going to stop bouncing around anytime soon. Sign up today for Norton 360 with LifeLock and save 25% or more off your first year by going to norton.com/Doug. That's norton.com/Doug for 25% off. With all that's going on, it's easy to forget to take care of ourselves with exercise. Even if we're staying home and staying safe, we need to keep our bodies moving to keep our spirits high. Our trusted friends at Cadenwood, the leaders in CBD, have a way to help. Level Select CBD is a complete line of products, including sports creams and roll-ons. They started with penetrating coconut that on its own is a great sports cream. Then they added enough CBD to be really effective. Level Select CBD is independently tested with 0% THC and made in the USA. It's the choice athletes and non-athletes alike swear by. Visit LevelSelectCBD.com. Order any of their products right now and get 15% off. Use promo code CBD15. That's LevelSelectCBD.com. Promo code CBD15. Or subscribe and save even more. LevelSelectCBD.com. Hey, it's Zach Harris. Join me Friday night at 5 for the Friday Night Tailgate. It's an hour packed with everything you need to know about the Capital Region sports scene. The Friday Night Tailgate, Friday nights at 5 on Fox Sports 980 and 95.9 FM. Driven by Mohawk Chevrolet in Clifton Park.
While you can't believe everything on social media these days, you can believe it's possible to start a new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months from the comfort of your own home, even if you have zero computer experience. Instead of waiting to see what happens when life gets back to normal, take control of your future now. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science, it's mycomputercareer.edu.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores, the score used by 90% of top lenders for free, even if you're not a customer. Checking your score won't hurt your credit, and you can check each month for changes, always for free. The Discover Credit Scorecard, free for everyone. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
With Advance Auto Parts, you get the part you need from the comfort of your garage. Order online and get your part with same-day pickup, curbside, or same-day delivery. It's the fastest way to get the part you need. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song, What's the Name of Your Price Tool? So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, 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 and the trombone goes blah, 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 and you say, we'll help you find coverage options to fit your budget. Then we just all do finger snaps while the choir goes, Save is coming at ya, Save is coming at ya. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see you at practice tonight. I got new lyrics for the rap break. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. The films, the stars, the milestones, the awards. iHeartRadio brings you the Week in Hollywood History.
May 4th, 1944. Screen legend Angela Lansbury makes her film debut in the movie Gaslight. The 18-year-old earns her first of 3 Academy Award nominations for Best Supporting Actress. May 6th, 2004. After 10 seasons on air, the long-running sitcom Friends airs its hour-long final episode. It's seen by an estimated 53 million viewers in the U.S., becoming the 5th most-watched finale ever. May 7th, 1901. Gary Cooper is born as Frank James Cooper in Helena, Montana. Before his death in 1961, he would be nominated for 5 Academy Awards, winning Best Actor for 1941 1951's Sergeant York and 1952's High Noon. May 8, 1912. Film studio Paramount Pictures is founded under the name Famous Players Film Company, taking its current name in 1936. It's the second oldest film company in the U.S. and the fifth oldest in the world, and remains a major studio to this day. May 9th, 1893. Inventor Thomas Edison holds the first public demonstration of his kinetoscope at the Brooklyn Institute of Arts and Sciences. The device, which allowed audiences to watch moving pictures through a peephole, was a direct forerunner to motion pictures as we know them today.
And that's the Week in Hollywood History on iHeartRadio. Fox Sports 980, now on 95.9 FM. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. That's 1. Broadcasting live from the studios of Fox Sports Radio, here's Doug Gottlieb.
So here's the story behind this song, which obviously Ramos was following me on Twitter when I said 2 months into quarantine, I still don't know the words to Yellow Ledbetter. Music, do you play an instrument at all? Are you musically talented in any way?
Oh, of course, Doug. Given my last name.
No, not at all. Ramos, you play any instruments?
I play a bass, but not very well.
You play the bass. My dad plays the bass.
Okay.
Okay. Byron, do you play an instrument at all?
No, I don't.
Me neither. What's interesting about it is, so my freshman year at Notre Dame, it seemed like everybody on my dorm floor was learning to play guitar, and they were all learning on that song. Right? This is 1995, 96, and I did like Pearl Jam, and that was a B-side. People forget that was a B-side back when they had B-sides even of CDs, and I still to this day don't. I know the words are written and you can get them on the internet. I don't believe them to always be accurate in terms of what Eddie Vedder actually says. Let's get to a game.
This is Game Time on the Doug Gottlieb Show.
Dan Byer, what's the game today, bud?
Doug, the game today is
Psychic.
All right, Psychic. What will be the best Thursday night game that appears on Fox in the 2020 NFL season?
Question. The problem is, like, that first game is always such a good one, but that's not actually the Thursday. That's not actually a Fox Thursday.
Yeah, Bucks Bears would be the one on Fox.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yes, which I actually really like. I mean, who doesn't?
You got Chiefs at Bills.
Yeah, Chiefs, Bills is a good one.
Packers at Niners.
Packers. I thought Packers, Niners. The problem is that the Niners just seem to be a bad matchup for them, doesn't it? There's a stinker in there. Miami. You see Miami, Jacksonville, week 3.
Yeah, that'd be an NFL Network.
That's an NFL Network one, right? That one's not that's not a big Fox one. I'm going to say Packers-Niners, though, because we'll see the growth of the Packers and where the Niners are as well.
Cowboys-Ravens will be interesting as well.
Yeah.
Psychic, when will Phillip Rivers become a high school football coach? So he's going to be the coach in waiting, as we just talked about 20 minutes ago. But when is that day going to come when Phillip Rivers will retire from the NFL?
I think it's next. I think this will be his last year. I think there's a reason he signed a one-year deal. I want this key, but I think that's the plan, and I think it'll be in 2021.
All right, Psychic, how long will American sports stay away from playing games internationally? Now, we saw the NFL move away from their London games and Mexico City game earlier this week. The NHL has just called off their games in Finland and the Czech Republic scheduled for next season. How long is it going to be until we return?
It will be early next year. I believe the NBA will return and play in London.
All right. A report from the Ringer says that the NBA could shorten the length of each playoff series. Will that happen if they try to fit the playoffs in, Psychic?
It will, but I think there'll be expanded playoffs, right? The problem with those old 3-game series is you're much more likely to have an upset. So I think if they expand it to more than 8 teams, then that will happen. That'll be the get back.
You could also, depending on if you are playing in home arenas or not, just have all the games at the higher seeds home.
Right.
You know, give them somewhat of an advantage. Finally, Psychic, will the NBA lighten their NBA schedule on Christmas Day because of the presence of the NFL game next year?
No, but they may adjust when the big boys play, right? So, you have next year, assuming health, and it could work out well for the NBA. You have Kevin Durant in the East and Kyrie Irving playing together. Maybe you have Nets, Celtics early on. You also have the 76ers. When LeBron plays and when Steph Curry plays, I think they'll have to adjust it around that of the NFL if they're smart, and they are a pretty smart group of guys.
Game on. This is Game Time on the Doug Gottlieb Show.
Meyer, you have a good anniversary?
Yes. We, enjoyed the sun. We got some takeout, and it was a good day.
But you did not watch The Usual Suspects.
No, we did not.
You get the whole weekend. It's a really good movie.
All right.
I guarantee you will like. You have to watch it all through. I guarantee. Let's join the show. Of course, great broadcast with Bob covering Major League Baseball as well. When will we see the return of baseball? And what's it like for a pitcher to be working through this weird preseason? Find out next.
We are
You check things all the time. Your email, your ex's IG. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Discover makes it quick and easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores, a score used by 90% of top lenders, for free, even if you're not a customer. Checking your score won't hurt your credit, and you can check each month for changes. The Discover Credit Scorecard, free to everyone. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? How about 40%? With Allstate, safe drivers can save 40% just by doing something they're already doing. Driving safe. That's right, 40% just by driving safe. Visit Allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote today and see just how much you can save when you drive safe with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Savings vary based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com.
Heavy volume on the Collins City Bridge heading eastbound in Detroit and out on the Hoosick Street and Hoosick Road, right out towards McChesney Avenue, then the Hayes South. Pretty decent volume southbound to the south from Waterford into Cohoes. Not a bad ride on the Northway Thruway, a little heavy northbound coming I-90.
For 830 locations to help support your workforce needs.
iHeartMedia knows small businesses across the country are facing new challenges during the COVID-19 pandemic. So to help, we put together the iHeartRadio Small Business Crisis Resource, which has critical information, including links to federal and state resources providing businesses with stimulus loans, grants, and other financial aid. We also shine a spotlight on small businesses doing good right now. Visit iHeart.com/small business to learn more. That's iHeart.com/small business, because your small business is big to us.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vic ZQuil. ZQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song, What's the Name Your Price Tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, 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 and the trombone goes, blah, 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 and you say, we'll help you find coverage options to fit your budget. Then we just all do finger snaps while the choir goes, savings coming at ya, savings coming at ya. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see your practice tonight. I got new lyrics for the rap break.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome to AutoZone.
AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sure, we can help you with that oil change. We've got a great deal on the products you need. You can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Motor Oil, an STP Extended Life Oil Filter, and a $15 AutoZone gift card by mail or email, all for just $33.99. And you don't even have to leave the house to get it. Just order on AutoZone.com and choose next day delivery. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Dad, guess what?
What?
You are going to be a grandfather.
That's great. You're going to be a wonderful mom, and I can't wait to be a grandpa. Not too long ago, moments like this with my daughter would have been a challenge. It was a long road for me to find myself again after Vietnam. I struggled to connect with almost everyone and preferred being alone. It was my neighbor Jim, another Vietnam veteran, who finally convinced me that I could still connect with my family and find that fulfilling life I'd lost. In fact, I called Jim first with the news about my granddaughter, Lizzie. Hey, Jim, I'm going to be a grandfather. Congratulations, Steve. Hey, let's get together and celebrate. As long as you're not grilling. My pride was my armor, but I didn't know it then. I couldn't put it into words. I was sad, I was scared, I felt alone. I didn't know how to reach out, so I hid behind anger and silence. But then I decided to listen to Jim, and I went for help down at the VA. If I can take that first step after almost 50 years, other veterans can too. Visit MakeTheConnection.net to find out more.
WOFX Troy, WGYFM HD2 Albany, W240EC Albany, Fox Sports 980 and 95.9 FM. Driven by Mohawk Chevrolet and Clifton Park.
With a chance at $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword LOVE to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest.
WGY AM Schenectady, WGY FM Albany, an iHeart radio station. 4 o'clock at News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. I'm Jim Gagliardi. Another facet of COVID-19, and it concerns children. And an update on the State Child Victims Act. Top stories in a minute. First, traffic and weather.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com.
There's an accident on the westbound side of the thruway about a mile west of the Northway interchange, then a good ride over towards 890 and 88. Up and down the Northway, a pretty good ride. Power City Bridge, a slow go on the eastbound side heading into Detroit. And 787, that looks like a good ride. From the WGY Price Chopper Market 32 Traffic Center, I'm Mike Barker.
Need to manage a changing workforce? It's time to get to know Express Employment Professionals. Visit ExpressPros.com to find one of over 830 locations to help support your workforce needs.
AccuWeather forecast: cold tonight with snow at times, up to an inch can accumulate, low 33. Windy with clouds with snow and rain at times in the morning, followed by some showers, high Saturday 46. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Andy Robb on News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY.
Right now, overcast skies, 57 degrees at News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. Governor Cuomo says he's concerned 73 children in New York have a new inflammatory illness that's said to be associated with COVID-19. Reportedly, 2 boys have died in New York City.
This past Thursday, a 5-year-old boy passed away from COVID-related complications, and the State Department of Health is investigating several other cases.
There were 216 more deaths in a 24-hour period from the coronavirus.
Who tested positive on the plane. Now, this comes about 24 hours after we learned that the president himself, his own valet, one of the few valets that serve him in a personal capacity, tested positive.
Now, we've got a little more information on this story. The member of Vice President Pence's staff testing positive for COVID-19, Katie Miller. The Vice President's press secretary confirming to NBC News she tested positive for coronavirus. She said she tested negative yesterday, then positive today, but says she is asymptomatic. Katie Miller is the wife of Stephen Miller, a top advisor to the president, who was in frequent contact with him. Pence's trip to Iowa was delayed after learning of the positive case. Reporters saw multiple staff members exit Air Force 2 just before exiting Washington en route to Iowa. Governor Cuomo announcing today that the state will extend the 1-year look-back window for survivors of sexual abuse by another 5 months. This past August, the 1-year look-back window was open for survivors of sexual abuse to
open up time-barred legal action against their alleged abusers. Child Victims Act cases have been on hold since March, when the state court system stopped accepting so-called non-essential filings. Cuomo says the state will now extend the window from August to January 14th, 2021 to give survivors extra time to file lawsuits. State police earlier today activating an Amber Alert investigating a child abduction that occurred in Tellerwood Drive and Clifton Park about 1 this morning. The child, Gustavo Oliveira, is approximately 9 years old, short black hair, brown eyes, approximately 4 feet 8 inches tall, weighs about 100 pounds. The suspect, Ubaldo Oliveira, is 41 years old, short black hair and brown eyes. State police say the boy was taken under circumstances that police believe would have been in danger of serious bodily harm or death. Pictures of the child and the suspect posted on the WGY Facebook page. A very bleak April jobs report shows the U.S. employers cut 20.5 million payrolls last month. New figures from the U.S. Department of Labor say the unemployment rate jumped to 14.7%. as the coronavirus pandemic forced businesses across the U.S. to lay off employees. The decline in payrolls for the month was by far the worst on record, according to information spanning all the way back to 1939. Asked about today's numbers during an interview on Fox News, President Trump said it shouldn't come as a shock, vowed the nation's economy will recover. San Diego-based Soup Plantation and Sweet Tomatoes, two popular buffet-style restaurants, are closing for good. Parent company Garden Fresh Restaurants announcing safety recommendations for reopening amidst the COVID-19 pandemic make it nearly impossible for their restaurant model to stay in business. Closure affects all 97 restaurants and 4,400 employees. Well, despite the disappointing jobs report, good day on Wall Street just before the close. The Dow up 451 points, NASDAQ up 137, S&P 500 up 48. For more news, listen to The Daily Dive. Big news stories explained, not shouted. Listen to The Daily Dive each day on the iHeartRadio app, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. WGY News Time 4:06. Our next update at 4:30. I'm Jim Gagliardi. More Sean Hannity in a minute. On News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. Capital Region's breaking news, traffic, and weather station.
Why do people keep coming back to Peaches Cafe?
The service is excellent, the food is superb.
Peaches Cafe, always delicious, locally owned. Just the friendliest atmosphere you could possibly have.
The food is really good. The staff is always really nice. Everything is wonderful. Nobody does delicious like Peaches Cafe.
From old favorites to Peaches exclusives, experience our incredible entrees, plus fabulous desserts. Peaches Cafe, every day and evening in Stuyvesant Plaza. For our menu and daily specials, visit peachescafe.net.
Do you want to learn to speak a new language but don't have enough time? Then you need to try Babbel, the language learning app that you can try for free right now at Babbel.com. Babbel lessons are just 15 minutes or less, and you can go at your own pace. You'll be amazed at how easy Babbel makes it. Start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Just download the Babbel app or go to Babbel.com now. That's Babbel.com.
After a 30% drop in the equity markets, investors have to ask themselves, should they continue to build an ark getting out of the market, or is it time to look at a lifeboat? For us, it's the lifeboat. The stock market has always rebounded from prior crises. Having been in the business for 37 years, I remember some investors saying the market will never rebound. Time and time again, they were proven wrong. We see no reason why they won't be proven wrong this time. Give us a call at Fagan Associates, 518-279-1044. It's 518-279-1044. It's your money, and we know that.
It's Chuck and Kelly.
Monday morning, some drastic and probably permanent changes when you fly. We're talking to our aviation analyst at 7:45.
810 and 103.1 WGY.
The game, they'll be glad they're back to playing baseball.
No, quite. I mean, can you imagine? And by the way, the banging of trash can. I'm kidding. Trash cans. Imagine though, like if baseball and like I don't even think it's selfish for baseball. If it was on right now, who wouldn't? Especially you're working at home, have a baseball game on, right? And you would just like it would just feel like a sense of normalcy. And it's so for a sport and look, I know how well it's doing in its regional markets. But during the regular season, it does kind of get lost in the white noise of summer. Like it really needs that shot in the arm. Like, look, I think Rob Manfred, I think he meant well with how he was trying to handle the Astros thing, but I don't think the punishment fit the crime. I think he came up short for a lot of people. But that adversity, now you have this adversity. He gets kind of a chance. Fair to say he has a chance. He's not a new commissioner, but still a newish commissioner. This is a great challenge that he can kind of win the day, and we can forget about the Astros and Red Sox debacle if he figures this out in a smart and timely fashion, no?
I agree. And I would make sure, and like if I was on the player side, there is going to be, like, the biggest thing is everyone's sacrificing big time in some way. I mean, everybody's feeling this, right? And so to think you're going to have the perfect scenario, well, then you're sadly mistaken. It's just going to have to be more adjustments, and there's going to have to be some sense of reality to say, this is not normal, but I'm going to deal with it. Because otherwise, you're just going to be paralyzed by fear, and the whole year will be lost. There'll be more damage done than good. But baseball has always been a barometer of, hey, it's on every day, so things are going good. The calendar drives the game, and the calendar means that every day is something to watch. So when you hear little excerpts coming out of players, I kind of don't pay attention to the literal aspect of it, because when push comes to shove, they're going to figure out a way to get this done, and they're going to play baseball, and the teams that had a chance to win when this all started are going to be the same teams that have a chance to win, that are motivated, that are dedicated, and the teams maybe that struggled or would struggle might have some of that component, kick in, and they might be a little bit more relaxed. I don't know, but I know that whatever the rules, whatever the changes, whatever the craziness that comes out of this, it's a great chance for baseball to kind of introduce some of those things that were controversial, in my opinion. Why not? I mean, people are going to just be glad it's playing, even if it has some different rules and different, let's just say, league or a tournament fashion that changes how it goes about. I think we're at that point to figure, I don't like the word test drive, but to actually check out some of these things that have been bantered about, pro and con, and see where it goes.
I agree with you. Help me out with pitchers. Where are those guys right now? And I know as you smartly stated, like, everybody's different. Some guys are better with structure, some guys are fine without, in terms of their work ethic. But they were pitchers and catchers report first, so they were, and many of these guys are on a throwing program. Are they in throwing shape? Like, what's your best guess for starting pitchers in Major League Baseball, where they are and how long it'll take them to where they can throw 4 or 5 legit, strong, regular season baseball innings?
Yeah, I think the veterans have a huge advantage, just having been through the years of playing and knowing their body, right? They're not going to be super stressed about the lack of time. They're going to understand when they need to throw. I'm more concerned about, we have a sport of injuries. I'm more concerned about that kind of concept coming out of the game, where we maybe rush guys. But from a pitcher standpoint, it works like this. This would be a kid is so ramp back with so much muscle and so less body fat that is what's causing, in my opinion, a lot of our injuries, because they don't have the flexibility and or the love handles to speak of that allow the whole season to do what they do to avoid injury. So that would be my one area to watch, is I'm looking for baseball to return and see some of these body transformations, good and bad. And then you see the one guy that's just kind of like the turtle, the old veteran.
Ken Herbeck walks into a clubhouse, and like the Ken Herbeck body is all the rage. It ends up being the most baseball ready. The other thing I was thinking was, and I've tried to keep I have an 11-year-old left-handed son. I try to keep him on a little bit of a throwing program, and he's doing the towel in front of the mirror. How many little kids' arms, though, are going to be saved by this thing, right? You get like a year with no Little League Baseball, which obviously you steal some of the great memories of your childhood. On the other hand, some of these parents, they just throw their every possible opportunity. Like, there might be a whole generation of arms rebuilt over this thing.
I hope so, but my fear is the catch-up theory. Once they start playing, they're going to try to catch up the time lost. I hope that doesn't happen. That's my point. So I think with this time off, all these guys that will come into spring training throwing 98 their first spring training game were headed, in my opinion, down the wrong road. This might save them a little bit and teach them they don't have to do that and be like that. Like this sport that we love and we watch is a long marathon. It's not a sprint. And guys will show up in spring training ready to sprint. And I think that would help a lot of young pitchers realize, okay, what am I going to do this time and learn about my body, or am I just going to keep, just keep firing it as hard as I can and just see if I can get stronger? I think if you can complement the arm strength and velocity that's in today and couple that with better mechanics, then you're going to see a better product down the road. But if you just have these factory arms that are great at throwing, but don't understand their body and mechanics, then you're just going to eat a lot more of those factory arms.
All right, last thing, and I know you got to go, so do we. If you were to design a system, you said, hey, look, wherever we start, that's where we should start, it's Arizona, wherever. Would you do the 3-division, 10-team type thing where everybody's regionally located and you just try, like, I'm allowing you, carte blanche, John Smoltz, design it, best you can do, how would it be?
Yeah, I would like to see a condensed version of just get away from the interleague for a second, for a year. Let's just get to the regional. Let's get the creative with the division. And let's add 2 more teams to the playoffs. And let's just create an environment, whether it's, you got to play at neutral sites because of the weather and or the system that we're playing under. I'm all for whatever's going to create baseball excitement at the end of the year with teams that typically came into the season going, well, we don't really have a chance. Now you do. I want to create that environment in this short period of time that teaches teams you don't have to kick back the boot and, not be relevant for 7 years. So I'd be in favor of the rebuild. I'd be in favor of, like, literally put them in a hat and take them out. There's your division. My point is, we kind of go nitpick so many different things. Let's just see how this plays out. And when we get to the playoffs, that's what everybody wants to see anyways. They want to see that excitement of the playoffs. And this is an opportunity to kind of integrate the new idea with the old system that's been going on for a long time.
John, great catching up with you. Glad you're healthy. Hope you find that structure that you need. It is, by the way, it's Friday, in case you didn't know. It's Friday. And thanks for being our guest.
All right, my pleasure.
It's the one and only John Smoltz, the Hall of Famer, joining us on the Discover Card Guest Hotline. Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score. Checking out your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply. Why the beginning of the NFL season means way more than the middle of the season. I'll explain next.
This is the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. We've all been quarantined. You can't go outside. But now is the time to break free. Book those flights. Book a hotel, a day spa for the wife. The NFL schedule is out. We'll help you map out your trip. On Fox Sports Radio.
What's a common issue facing men, but you always want to talk about? Think long and hard. 40% of men age 40 or older struggle for not being able to perform in the bedroom. Check out Hims and you can discover the tiny pill worthy of a big celebration. 4hims.com, the one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. Thanks to science, ED can be optional. If approved by the doctor, product shipped directly to your door. Answer questions about your medical history and chat with a doctor for confidential review. Try Hims today, starting out with a free online visit. Go to 4hims.com/allball. That's FORHIMS.com/allball. 4hims.com/allball. Prescription products are subject to doctor approval and require an online consultation with a physician who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. See website for details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went in person to the doctor's office or pharmacy. Remember, that's 4hims.com/allball.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sure, we can help you with that oil change. We've got a great deal on the products you need. You can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Motor Oil, an FTP Extended Life Oil Filter, and a $15 AutoZone gift card by mail or email, all for just $33.99. And you don't even have to leave the house to get it. Just order on AutoZone.com and choose next day delivery. Getting your job done just that easy. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Cultivators of the cul-de-sac. Run with us on a John Deere X370 Select Series lawn tractor. Because yard work is about more than just mowing. It's about moments that last a lifetime. Like when your daughter Emily has a shot at making pickleball history on her home turf. And that's why the X370 needs nothing but chance. With one-touch mulch control technology and attachment
southbound side of the freeway for about a mile west of the Northway interchange. That's all because of an accident being cleared. Up and down the Northway, a pretty good ride from I-90 in Colony up to and across the Twin Bridges west of Clifton Park in Saratoga Springs. Little volume on Route 9 as you travel northbound in Clifton Park approaching 146. And 787 northbound exit 9 more heavy. From the WGY Price Chopper Market 32 Traffic Center, I'm Mike Garner.
Need to manage a changing workforce? It's time to get to know Express Employment Professionals. Visit expresspros.com to find one of over 830 locations to help support your workforce needs.
While the economy waits on the sideline,
a little rough, but we get through it.
we're going to keep helping
That extra $1,000 is coming in for me and my family right now.
to tackle your bills.
Bills are gonna be paid.
Help your debts. And move those financial goalposts a little bit closer.
I can tell you how much you're welcome.
Win $1,000 every hour, 12 times a day, right here on iHeartRadio. At Sprint, we understand saving money for your family is now more important than ever. That's why we're offering our best unlimited deal. Switch and get 4 lines of unlimited for just $100 a month. That's right, 4 lines for $100. Plus, the plan includes Hulu, 500 megabytes of mobile hotspot, DVD quality streaming, and more. If that's not enough, to really amp this up, we're including 4 amazing iPhone 11s on us when you trade in iPhone 6S's or newer in any condition. And now, Sprint customers enjoy expanded roaming access on the T-Mobile network. Shop from the comfort of your home at Sprint.com. Call 800-SPRINT-1 or come see us in our stores. Phone after 2917 per month credit or 18 months credit applies to bills. Cancel early. Remember not to requires new account on limited days except for 7/31/21. Pay $35 per month for line allowance. And any prioritization during congestion coverage are not available at work. Speed taxes, fees, and roaming speed maximum use rules. $30 activation fee restricted. With Advance Auto Parts, you get the part you need in the comfort of your garage. Order online and get your part with same-day pickup, curbside, or same-day delivery. It's the fastest way to get the part you need. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? How about 40%? With Allstate, safe drivers can save 40% just by doing something they're already doing. Driving safe. That's right, 40% just by driving safe. Visit Allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote today and see just how much you can when you drive safe with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Savings vary based on drive lives and other safe driving discounts. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The iHeartRadio app, along with some of the most influential voices in the world, are making sure the graduating class of 2020 get the commencement speeches they deserve. Launching Friday, May 15th, Commencement, the podcast, featuring commencement speeches from Bill and Melinda Gates, Tom Brokaw, Henry Winkler, Hillary Clinton, Eli Manning, and more. Graduating or not, these are more than a commencement speech. This is about inspiration. Congratulations to the class of 2020. From iHeartRadio, Fox Sports 980 and 95.9 FM. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Broadcasting live from the studios of Fox Sports Radio, here's Doug Gottlieb.
Doug Gottlieb Show, Fox Sports Radio. So, I'm not here to tell you all my predictions are right, or, I'm not somebody who, despite what you may read on social media, all my predictions are not wrong. I still believe that my best guess at when Thomas Day first took over the LA Rams, I looked at their schedule and I was like, the Rams are going to be fine this year. They're going to be great. And it wasn't just because I thought I believed in Sean McVay or believed in Jared Goff or the team. It was because I looked at their schedule and I realized that they were going to get off to a hot start. And, look, so much of your season, and if you remember, that year they opened up with the Indianapolis Colts. And why is that important? Because the Colts, this is when Andrew Luck missed the season, and Scott Polzin got the start. and they had just traded for Jacoby Brissett. And I had watched the Colts play preseason, and I was like, their talent was so bad. This is before Chris Ballard got a chance to turn over that roster. The talent's so bad. So the Rams got off. It was a 46-9 game, as Ramos I know remembers. Then they played Washington the next week, a game I thought they could win. McVay came from Washington. They did not. And then they had San Francisco, who just before San Francisco got Garoppolo. They started out 2-1. They ended up beating the Dallas Cowboys 3-1. And they ended up finishing the year 11-5. And they go to the playoffs. Lose the Atlanta Falcons at home in the wild card game. I bring that up because when I look at teams, especially ones that can go either way, I think if you can get off to a good start, you'll see that even though early season is technically extended preseason, especially this year, the numbers tell you teams that start 3-0 make the playoffs 75% of the time. Since in 1980, 3% of teams start 0-3 end up making the playoffs. And I think, look, there's a couple of teams that Browns are a team that last year, remember, the start of their schedule was really difficult. And so they could never mesh, and there was already infighting by the time they got to like 6 or 7 games. The Texans are a team. They start out, first 2 games at Kansas City home to Baltimore. It's a team that's made the playoffs 4 to 6 years. They did re-sign Larry Tunsil. They obviously want to re-sign Deshaun Watson. But there's the opportunity there for a locker room mutiny because they don't have the players who, trade away Newt Hopkins. I don't know. I look at these, the Packers, their start. Jordan Love drama. I don't think that plays a factor, but if you start out 0-3 or 1-2, those are the teams that have the players-only teams meeting. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I know that it's going to be hard for Brady early on, but if Brady struggles early on, are there we got a bad bill of goods. We got snookered once again by Bill Belichick. I'm very interested, not in the middle of the schedule, because I don't know who looks like what, or who's starting, or who's injured, etc. The first 3 games are really interesting to me. Let's get you Dan Fire, find out what else is going on. Give you what you got.
Exactly. By the time the 49ers were 8-0, they had a playoff spot, basically. Yeah, I know not everything's going to go 8-0, but when you can bank those wins early, it really pays off at the end. The Indianapolis Colts are having Philip Rivers be their quarterback for the 2020 season. He signed a 1-year deal. How much longer? Well, we're not quite sure, but Rivers has figured out life after football. He's agreed to become the head coach in waiting of the St. Michael Catholic High School football team in Fairhope, Alabama. Rivers will become the head coach once he retires from the National Football League, saying that he wanted to do 2 things when he was a kid. That's play in the NFL and be a high school football coach like his dad. Philip Rivers is on his way to doing that. Jaguars have signed quarterback Mike Glennon to back up Gardner Minshew. Well, today was the first day that some NBA team facilities would be open. Cavs, Blazers, and Nuggets, the first teams to open their facilities as stay-at-home restrictions in their area have been eased. The report from the Ringer says the NBA would consider holding a best-of-3 series at the start of the playoffs if needed. As part of their realigned schedule, NASCAR announced that Cup Series races in Chicago, Sonoma, and the spring race in Richmond will be replaced by the midweek races at Darlington and Charlotte. And the NHL won't hold games in Finland or the Czech Republic for their Global Game Series next year because of the coronavirus pandemic. Doug, back to you.
John Middlecoff joins us in the Doug Alvin Show, Fox Sports Radio 3. Now he is back to the podcast. Middlecoff, a big, early season momentum guy. West Coast, a little about Noah against Puerto Rico. Just figured out on the go. Tampa's going to be, pedal to the metal right away. I don't think we could lead pretty heavy on the road. What we do against the South. We're going to do well against Kansas City. Open up on the road. I'd very much like to open on the road against Cincinnati Bengals with a quarterback and a coach that hasn't won anything. And then you get Carolina at home week 3. Again, a rookie coach. And I think Carolina gets batted around. For a team that has their level of talent, for Tyrod Taylor to be fighting to keep his job, I think that's a 3-game stretch where you could very well expect to be 2-1.
Well, Doug, we need people like you around, because the NFC and the AFC West wouldn't get talked about as much as people from the West Coast didn't have a microphone in their mouth. We all know that. The thing with the Chargers, what I'm fascinated, and clearly you you know the team really well, and I like it as the opening starter. But if their roster is so talented, that if they're just winning games, and, you know, 64, then never go under 500. Does Herbert even play this year? And can they just make the playoffs now with this extra spot? You know, going 9-7, which Tyrod really like did 2 years ago, 3 years ago with the Bills. Maybe you don't even see Herbert on it. What I'm fascinated with Herbert, the reason we don't see it as a rookie, and they're doing that. I'm not Tyrod, hey, we got him. Talented enough in the roster that they good enough in that extra playoff spot is getting a little bit, and they can make the playoffs without even needing.
Yeah, I think they want to do some serious stuff. I mean, I do think, you know, although
It's probably Herbert can't get it sooner, right?
yes, yeah, there's always these rookies.
For rookie quarterbacks where it gets even more difficult.
I mean, Joe Burrow's the only one who likes that guy's going to start. You know, Tua's coming off the hip as well. I don't think Jordan Love's not going to play this year. Sort of injury to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, God forbid.
But a lot of guys pick up in the AFC West.
Yeah.
Is all three of the teams, like, I think Kansas City is clearly, to me, the number one team in the NFL, and it wouldn't shock me if they went 14-2. If they got 20 returning starters, they're going to be promoted. Who's going to be the second best team in the AFC West? Because I think the AFC West is really good. Like, you look at Denver's roster, if you lost out, they can be good. The Raiders were fighting last year. The Chargers have the most premium talent beside the Chiefs. Like, are we sure that the second team might not be a 10-win team? Whoever figures it out?
I'll tell you who I think it's interesting because that's essentially what happened in the AFC East last year, right? They were also focused on the Patriots and with the Bills, and even the Jets ended up, you know, having a good record at the end of the year, advantage the schedule right. I'm taking who I think has a really, really fortunate schedule. Now, they did last year, and they couldn't beat the big teams. And you see the Cowboys? The Cowboys open up at the Rams. Right? LA is not a Rams team. 50-50 at that, probably 60-40 Cowboys fans. Right? From the new Rams game on a Sunday night. And I don't think the Rams are close to being back. Then we got the Falcons at home. They go to Seattle, always a really difficult place to play, always a great football game. Cleveland at home, New York at home, Arizona at home. They go to Washington, like,
They win that Rams game, they can start really high, huh?
Yeah,
they are
crazy.
They could be up 7-1.
Yeah.
But to me, they fall under the category, a little like Brady, new coach, new team, new defense. It's one of those teams that definitely talented on paper, might have a really good resume as a coach. There's just a lot going on, and there's no offseason. There's the staff, whatever training camp actually starts, the staff there.
It's the same OC. It's the most exciting players on offense. You're adding in CD Lamb. Like, I hear you on defense and kind of makes me a lot of down and good leadership there. But it wasn't like there's so much monkey ball. Marcus so well coached the head coach that I did all time. I'm like, Cowboys, like, damn, Cowboys kind of great there.
The more you look at the schedule, maybe it could be. But I look at the Cowboys, whether the pandemic happened or not, with Mike as a playoff team. So now it's just, and their record can be a little inflated because they start so fast. They end up 12-4 instead of 10-6, and be in a position to. Now it's crazy, right? Because with this new playoff format, only one team gets a bye, and that's a conversation that there's always been that extra bye. And last year the Chiefs kind of came in last minute. That one bye can be kind of dangerous, right? I mean, that's like totally
I think it overvalues number one spot.
I think so too. I don't mind the extra team, but I don't like that because that is football. This isn't you get an extra day off in basketball, right? It's rivalry. I mean, that's why you see it's not like the two best teams in each conference got the extra week off, and they should have the event. But now for one team, look at last year with the Niners. They're basically three teams who are all in a four. The Packers, Seattle, Green Bay, they're all in the same record. Now they won. But different. One team didn't deserve a bye, and the other three teams didn't. That's really kind of crazy.
Kyle Hurd is so all in on the Seahawks. I love Russell Wilson too. And every Russell Wilson game looks the same, right? Russell Wilson at the end of the game with the ball trying to make a play. They open up in Atlanta. Atlanta wasn't good last year, but on the road in Atlanta, that's a long trip. But, against their former defensive coordinator, who's no longer the defensive coordinator of his own team. And then New England at home, Dallas at home, at Miami, Minnesota at home. But he is all in on Seattle. I still see offensive line issues. Every running back got hurt. They're talking about bringing back Marshawn Lynch, who was lost last year. Any look-ups on Seattle very early on?
Well, I would say just overall last year they went 12-4. There's never been a less talented 12-4 team. I mean, speaks to Russ's greatness. They got some crazy plays out of DK, but they were by no means.
They got 11-5. They got 12-4. They beat the Tennessee last game. San Francisco's on the road the whole playoffs. But anyway,
you're right. There was a 2-game difference between San Francisco and Seattle, but the entire season Seattle beat them on that Monday night game in Levi Stadium, where they were basically equal. But you want, well, they're loaded. You want Seattle, it's like, well, Russell's doing everything, and Tommy Wagner making tackles. Well, how is it happening? And it's because it's their culture to me. Why I do believe in Seattle, and I view them as a lost playoff team. Because it doesn't matter if it's Richard Sherman or a corner you've never heard of. They play such physical defense. Even though they haven't been as good, like, statistically, they play so hard. And most teams aren't that physical anymore in the NFL. And then they have just this cheap over Russell Wilson. Now, here's my red flag. And this is where I think that they'll kind of separate maybe this year. Like, if they do win the division by a game or two, they should finish better than Seattle. But the division's really tough. Because Arizona, even if they're at 7-9, they're going to be fighting. They're being out. And say what you want about the Rams, like, I think they're also coming back to earth like you. They're still not just like a shoe-in to just a win.
They were going to have 16 playoff winners. Should have been the Seahawks in Seattle if they could make field goals.
I think the division is very, very difficult. And like last year, the Niners went 5-1, and the one game they lost was that overtime game. Like, I don't think it's realistic to see one team in the NFC West probably get better than 4-2. These teams know each other so well. There's so much talent in this division, and when the Niners and Seattle play, it does feel like a hardball early. Pete Carroll just body that man. Guys just breaking legs, and it's just so physical. I don't view Seattle as like I used to with the Legion of Boone and Russell and Marshawn were there.
Did you, have you seen the pictures or did you watch the video of Alex Smith's injury?
Yeah, I watched E50 and I saw the videos yesterday.
Look, he's still, it's $32 million in dead cap money. He wants to play. I've been told a long time ago, no chance he plays. It's an amazing comeback story. If you had to say it percentage-wise likelihood, he gets cleared to play football again, what would it be?
Look, I'm not a doctor. I went to Cal Poly. I would put a 0% chance. There's no way you could watch these 50 and watch the way they cut his leg. And even if you watch that video, like I've been, there's a lot of guys doing personal workouts. And it's just, there's no way. I mean, one, I don't think a doctor would sign off on letting him go out there. Probably even more than that, I don't think a team, I get it quote-unquote under contract, but I don't think they would put him out in that situation. I mean, for anyone listening that hasn't seen it, it's one of the most interesting. And then, when the crisis goes on, that is press segment would be a more put in place for beaches online. On the beach, well, that will probably be impossible if we want to fit. He's hoping that July 4th, things look better. Your Heskel WCS News Radio ED. With jazz venues across the city closed, musicians have no way to make a living. But a foundation created by a jazz legend is offering help. Our Sean Adams has the story in our Difference Makers series. Jazz great Louis Armstrong grew up dirt poor in New Orleans. When he settled in Corona, Queens, awarding $1,000 grants to 1,000 out-of-work musicians. Executive Director Jackie Harris.
In most cases, they don't have insurance or have any other means of support.
Foundation President Wynton Marsalis is reminded of a familiar Armstrong refrain.
People know I'm there because of happiness. There's so many people experiencing us, and he was able to put it in. If he had something, you had something.
Louis Armstrong often reached into his own
adapted to help musicians in need. Marsalis is carrying the torch and following the example taught to him by his father, Ellis Marsalis Jr., who died last month from coronavirus.
From a global standpoint, we all know there's some type of pain, and we have to heal this pain by affirming the things that our locals taught us and wish for us.
The foundation wishes to help more musicians. Donations would be greatly appreciated. Sean Adams, WCBS. CBS is supported by New York Community Bank and the NYCB family of banks, serving the needs of our communities in good times and bad since 1859. WCBS News Time, 4:48. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, sponsored by Hint Water. Back to Tom Kaminsky.
We go back on over to the FDR Drive because we inspired a collision there on the southbound side. Pretty heavy from about the 80s or so. Right on down through that stretch of the 59th Street Bridge. We did have a collision there. That is now reportedly clear. We're starting to see some of that volume continuing a little bit farther down toward the 59th Street Bridge. The northbound side's a little bit slow as we get toward the RFK Bridge, then just a ramp delay to the GW. Northbound Major Deegan with a collision right in the area of Willis Avenue, and then more delays just past it, right up through the construction marks at the Cross Bronx. Lots of southbound volume too in that area as we get in for the 150. And again, that's the ongoing construction on the Major Deegan. The westbound Cross Bronx, some delays at 3rd Avenue, but otherwise not bad till the GW. Seeing some eastbound delays now getting on out toward Webster Avenue. The west Route 78, exit 54 in Irvington, a collision, one car spin out in the local lanes. We've had delays on the New Jersey Turnpike on the exit ramp at 13A in Elizabeth, and we've also had delays on 24 westbound just west of Route 78, a crash in the right lane. And Tom Kaminsky in the WCBS Traffic Center. Hint is pure water infused with surprisingly true fruit flavors, including watermelon, blackberry, and cherry. No sugar, no sweeteners, no calories. Available in your local grocery store or at drinkhint.com. Hint, water with a touch of true fruit flavor. Now the 5-day forecast. Craig Allen, just give it to us straight. Okay, it is raining, and it's raining lightly for most of the area. It is getting steadier though, and that's the first day, so the conditions will deteriorate as we go through the evening. As we get on into the nighttime before it quits, which will be sometime around a little after midnight, it may very well mix with and change over to wet snow. And that would be primarily in the northern and western suburbs, the higher terrain, the farther 32 for the suburbs, the inland suburbs, the wind drives the wind chill down into the 20s tomorrow night. Sunny and 55 to 60, a better day. Stay connected with the Altice 5-day forecast. A chance of showers on Monday, partly sunny on Tuesday, both at WCBS. Carl from Queens survived.
Never go anywhere on this earth and survive it.
Carl was an American GI during the war. He became a renowned war and Carol's most famous work, The Kiss of Liberation, shows an American soldier with a Frenchman after the defeat of the Nazis. Carol was hospitalized with COVID-19 for 2 days. His family says he's now walking around like nothing happened. To commemorate VE Day, President Trump joined 7 veterans at a wreath-laying ceremony at the World War II Memorial in Washington. The veterans range in age from 96 to 100. One of them was 97-year-old Gregory Malikian of Phoenix, who had sent the coded message to the world that the Germans had unconditionally surrendered. WCBS News Time, 4:52.
Waiting rooms may be a thing of the past. I'm Pat Farnoff with the WCBS Health and Wellbeing Report about Valley Health System enhancing the health and well-being of northern New Jersey. Telemedicine has quickly become accepted by many people, but, says Dr. David Strasberg, medical director of quality for Valley Medical Group, when people do start coming back to the office, there will be changes there too.
If the patients come in, we have to make sure that the visits are safe. So we're going to be implementing a policy where they come to the office, they stay in their car. We do as much of the registration as possible over the phone while the person's in the car. When they come in, you completely bypass the waiting room. You bring them directly into the examination room. Everything that's done in the examination room is all done in that one room. Rooms are then cleaned, and that way it's safe. The problem is you can't see as many people, which is okay, and then you can supplement that with telemedicine.
The entire interview at WCBS880.com/health. I'm Pat Farnock, WCBS News Radio 880.
staying healthy and safe is more important than ever. And now, if you live in northern New Jersey, you can get fast urgent care at home with Valley Care Now, part of Valley Health System in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Whether you have COVID-19 related concerns, minor injuries, or a separate illness, you don't have to travel to the care center, because now Valley brings urgent care into your home with online video visits available 24 hours a day. Simply go to valleycarenow.com or download the Valley Care Now app. A Valley provider will give you a diagnosis, suggest a follow-up care plan, and if necessary, prescribe medication. Available for adults and children over 2, Valley Care Now can treat the entire family. Connect now at valleycarenow.com. Remember, be well, stay safe, stay home, and for online urgent care like no other, visit valleycarenow.com.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why. Our way looks great for us, but it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments at very high commissions, right? Any more commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investment securities involved with the loss.
They're wrapping up coronavirus testing at the White House after Vice President Pence's press secretary tested positive. The latest coming up in 5 minutes. 4:55 at WCBS. Our name is sponsored by Fidelis Care. Here's Bloomberg's Tracy Johnson.
Michael, a record 20.5 million jobs lost in April, and not even the healthcare industry was immune. The Labor Department reports 1 million of those jobs vanished, mostly at dentists and doctors' offices. But all day, Wall Street still back at the worst is behind us. The Dow was up 455 points at 24,331. NASDAQ up 142. The S&P up 49 points. This money is at 20.
New York State of Health and Fidelis Care, now offering dental and vision coverage. Call 1-888-FIDELIS, PPY, 711, or visit fideliscare.org to learn more about applying for health insurance, including Medicaid, Child Health Tax, Essential Plan, and qualified health plans through New York State of Health, the official health plan marketplace. Visit www.nystateofhealth.ny.gov or call 855-355-5777.
For nearly 100 years, Peapack Gladstone Bank has supported its communities. Since the start of the crisis, they've secured over $350 million in capital for over 1,000 local businesses, saving thousands of jobs. They work 24/7 to make sure local businesses get the support they need. If you've lost confidence in your mega bank providing you support in times of need, shouldn't you consider another option? Visit pgbank.com today. At Peapack Gladstone Bank, all banking is private banking. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. These are unprecedented times which are causing a lot of stress and financial worry for millions of Americans. But here's some good news. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, Optima Tax Relief can reduce the stress in your life by helping you resolve your tax debt right from the safety of your own home. Make no mistake, you don't want to ignore the IRS right now. They can take your paycheck and everything you worked so hard for. But with Optima on your side, you may qualify for help that saves you thousands. Their tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and has resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for taxpayers across the nation. So now's the time for tax help you need, for tax help you trust. Call Optima now for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. WCBS News Time 4:58. Traffic and weather together on the 8th with Tom Kaminsky. Michael, we've been seeing some volume at the outbound side of the Holland, which is about as close to normal as we've seen in weeks. The outbound side was about a 15-minute delay. Now it's very heavy through the tube and over to the Jersey side out toward Lorraine Boulevard. So we'll see if we have something there, either construction or something else blocking the lane, but it has been very slow there this afternoon at the outbound Hall in Lincoln. Amelia is back just about a 10-minute wait or so there. Over to the FDR, that's still very heavy into the mid-60s. A collision there has been cleared. Lots of volume on the northbound Bruckner as we get up toward the Bronx River Parkway with the collision off to the shoulder. And we've also had delays on the northbound side of the Major D and at Willis Avenue with the collision, and then stays heavy right up toward the Cross Bronx. Westbound Route 24 still with delays in through the area in 9 and Summit. The right lane is blocked with the collision. Here comes Craig with the forecast.
And back down to 47. The humidity's up to 90%. The rain's coming down, and it's definitely steadier now. Fortunately, still light rain, but it will get a little bit heavier tonight. And there's a chance as the wind switches around to the north later tonight, whatever precip is left could change over to wet snow in the higher terrain north and west of the city. Tonight's low near freezing north and west, 38 or so for the city and the coast. Tomorrow a mix of sun and clouds. Really windy day, 45 to 50. Sunday mostly sunny in the 50s.
This is WCBS and WCBS FM HD2 New York. A 5-year-old and a 7-year-old in New York have died of a Kawasaki-like illness related to COVID-19. Governor Cuomo says they're investigating several other child deaths. The city is launching a new testing and tracing effort. NYPD numbers show the vast majority of people given summonses for violating social distancing are black or Latino. New Jersey announces 162 more people have died due to COVID-19, including a 4-year-old. And the press secretary for Vice President Pence has tested positive for the virus. 48 degrees. I'm Linda Lopez.
More than just a headline. This is WCBS News Radio 880.
It's 5 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in upstate New York. A second White House staffer tested positive for the coronavirus today.
I'm not worried. Even as a valet who last attended to him Tuesday, and the Vice President's press secretary have this week both come down with the virus. President Trump says he's not worried.
Look, I get things done. I don't worry about things. I do what I have to do. We're taking very strong precautions at the White House.
But by all appearances, as a workplace, the West Wing has not been taking extreme precautions. While tests have been administered, distancing has not been enforced, and no senior staffers have been seen by CBS News wearing masks. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Washington.
Another child has died from complications of the coronavirus.
It's another mystery involving COVID-19. A 5-year-old boy in New York City has died from a rare illness believed to be connected with the coronavirus. It's called Kawasaki disease. It causes inflammation in the blood vessels. Governor Andrew Cuomo.
This is every parent's nightmare, right? That your child may actually be affected by this virus. But it's something we have to consider seriously now.
This is the second child in New York to die from Kawasaki. More than 70 other children have been diagnosed with the condition. Steve Futterman, CBS News.
The economic pain from the pandemic is cutting deeper for a record number of Americans. Ethan First is an out-of-work tour guide in New York City.
I really don't know how I'll get by, how I'll be able to buy groceries.
Another 20 million Americans signed up for jobless benefits in April, sending the unemployment rate up to an historic high of 14.7%. Car makers are looking forward to getting back to business.
As auto suppliers start operating again next week and auto plants the following week, Ford CEO Jim Hackett says that should make a dent in the jobless figures. It will be a slow, steady process.
The world needs to turn on again. Our vitality is tied to this happening.
Analysts have said each job at an auto assembly plant creates 10 others elsewhere. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Detroit.
Police officials in Georgia are vowing to get to the bottom of the murder of jogger Ahmaud Arbery. Bureau of Investigation Director Vic Reynolds.
Doesn't matter who the person is. It doesn't matter who the victim is. It doesn't matter who potential defendants are. All it matters is what the facts tell us.
Video showed Arbery, who's black, being shot and killed by a white father and son in February. They were arrested and charged with murder just yesterday. The Dow closed up 455 points. This is CBS News.
Sunside, simple ways to brighten your day. Grab your old photo albums and select a few favorites. Scan the photos and print them on cardstock. Send the printed copies as postcards to your loved ones. It'll be sure to give them a smile.
This is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar. Over to YouTube, Spotify, and the video student phase and Springtime now. They're now testing video podcasts on the platform. The global test is starting with 2 YouTube sensations who host popular podcasts called Man and Heat Unfiltered. Now, while the feature is in its test phase right now, Spotify will
to reopen on May 20th.
We've said restaurants for outside dining only, which again is a metric that tracks what the CDC has recommended as well. Offices, like restaurants, no more than 50% capacity, and probably recommending that only half their team go in, and then another half go in at different times, so in case there is an infection, you're limited in terms of what the spread is.
Governor Lamont says nail salons and barber shops must be appointment only. Hand sanitizer and cleaning wipes must be made available at the entrances. And both workers and customer must wear a mask and limit conversation. 77 people died in Connecticut in the last day, bringing the state's death total to 2,874 due to COVID-19. Hospitalizations continue to show a decline. The city is launching a new effort in the fight against coronavirus. We get more on that from WCBS reporter Marla Diamond.
The city will have an army of 1,000 disease detectives tracing the contacts of every person who tests positive for coronavirus. A huge step toward reopening the city.
This is a call to arms. This is a call of duty to come forward and put something together on an emergency basis to help people in crisis. This is not business as usual.
But in an unusual move, the mayor has chosen the city's recently overwhelmed public hospital system over the city health department to lead the massive effort.
They had an incredible challenge thrown at them, and they found a way to fight back and hold. I think that speaks volumes.
Mayor de Blasio says the city still has one hand tied behind its back without assistance from the federal government, but his goal is to go from testing 20,000 people a day in late March to 50,000 by late June. Marla Diamond, WCBS News Radio 880.
WCBS News Time 5:07.
Chock full of nuts would like to say, hang in there, New York. They are your favorite kind of coffee, but they want you to know you are their favorite kind of people.
Get better. I wish I could get out in the court there and play with you, man. I really, I wish. I know. Believe me, I wish I could get out there and play with one-on-one hoops again. And those days, sadly for me, are over. But I would have loved to have I'd have loved to have done that.
It's nice and therapeutic shooting basketball right now, and while my horse game is broken, I will not retire 0-1. I will take on someone else. I will have another opponent. I don't know who I'll challenge. If Iron Eagle on Monday, maybe I'll challenge him. I don't know, maybe Iron
Eagle's coming. Iron Eagle, Iron's with us on Monday?
Iron's with us on Monday, and you know who else is with us on Monday?
Who's that?
A guy who played against Michael Jordan in 1998 in that first round series against the hard-fighting New Jersey Nets. We'll be joined by Kendall Gill.
Wow, Kendall Gill. That's an interesting guy.
Yeah, how about it? Kendall Gill.
I got to promote my Saturday morning show now. In about 15 minutes or something like that. Actually, Darryl Strawberry will be with me tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, 9 o'clock we'll have Darryl. We got a good lineup tomorrow. Kim Jones will join us at 7. Mike McCalloway, and then Darryl at 9.
Beautiful. Darryl Strawberry, one of the greats.
Yes.
Let's go to Sal and Maspeth. What's up, Sal?
Sal, how are you?
Hey, guys. Joe, you were mentioning that tonight they got the Knicks championship, and the Mets are also on when they won it. So,
that's who? So Game 5 of the World Series is tonight at 69 on SNY?
Yeah, so I listened to, when I was 20, I was listening to the going out and clubbing, and so I go in the car with my cousin and we listened to Marv Albert, to the Knicks.
So you were clubbing, wait, instead of listening to Game 7 of the NBA Finals, you went to a club that night?
Yeah, I was single, you know what I mean?
I was single too, and I was a little younger than you. You were 20, I was 16. I don't think my mother would let me go to any clubs at that point in time. But there was, there was nothing I would be missing that Game 7 for, I can tell you, at that point in my life.
I'm going to watch tonight, but to my point I'm calling about is that, so I went to with my cousin, we went to Shea for Game 5, and we got seats, standing room only, in between the theater level and below. There was like a concrete slab that we were able to sit on, and we watched the game from there. I caught a foul ball from Jerry Grody. When the game was all over, right, Joe? I had worked in Wall Street.
This is Game 5. This is they clinched the World Series.
Yes, they clinched.
Were you on the field?
I jumped. Everyone was piling on. I jumped from the top of the dugout, and I missed. And so, my cousin, I lost the ball, never realized it fell out of my
miss. When you jump, what did you do? Fall into the dugout, break your leg or something?
Yes, I didn't make it. Yes, I was on crutches for 2 weeks. My cousin ran out on the field. He missed Ed Harrison's butt off his head. He had that souvenir. Everybody was grabbing the grass and everything. So I wound up hobbling to the car. I had a Buick Skylark convertible. I never forget. We were going up and down over that little bridge there, the Roosevelt Avenue, and we were yelling out, "Get your grass here, grass here, grass here." It was a nutty time, But that's a story I'll never forget.
You never know, because some people might have tried to smoke it at that point.
Well, listen, they were doing that too, but
well, of course.
But you make me laugh.
I just can't. It's very funny. So here you are now. You're celebrating the championship, and your leg is like dangling.
My leg was so bad. I was
a sprained ankle. Okay.
Yeah. I just missed the damn thing. Everybody. I want to see myself tonight. If I see myself falling in the dugout, look right next door, But it was a great experience, and just you can't believe the swarm,
Oh my God! Well, I mean, something you'll never see again. I mean, there's no way that's ever happening.
Yeah, we were talking about the other day. I was watching, and I posted the clip on Twitter, the final 30 seconds of the New York Nets winning the ABA title in '76, and how the crowds stormed the court. It's just something we ain't going to see again. No. We also may never see in such a short time span, I guess over 15 or 16 months, seeing the Jets win a Super Bowl, the Mets win a World Series, and the Knicks winning an NBA title.
You'll never see that again. From January 12, 1969 through May 8, 1970, 3 championships, all my teams. Never again will I see that. Never.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about that just in New York period, considering the kind of sports slump we've really been in for a while now.
Yeah.
Jeff and Maspeth. Hey, Jeff.
Jeff, how are you?
Yeah. How's it going? I got 2 questions to ask you guys. I'll ask the questions and I'll give you my answers. The first question is, like you said, the Jets, the Mets, and the Knicks. Going forward, which team winning a potential world championship would be considered the biggest deal by the city as a whole?
And the second question is the Knicks. I would say the Knicks. Yeah, I would say the Knicks. Absolutely. The Knicks. Yes. The second question is kind of like a fill in the blank, and it has to be like a sports-related answer. I wish I was a fly on the wall for what? Sports-related. Now, Evan, you said a couple weeks ago you watched Massachusetts game 16-inning game. I wish I were a fly on the wall of the airplane on a fly back. That was your answer.
The fly on the wall and that flight back was probably very, very interesting. I would agree with that. That's it.
There's a lot of ways you can answer that question.
A lot of flies on the wall I wouldn't mind doing, I can tell you that.
Right. I mean, one of the flies potentially would be to see some kind of party. There's more.
Would not get into.
There's more of those.
Right.
Than there are sports moments.
That is true.
But from a historical perspective, fly on the wall and Branch Rickey's talking to Jackie Robinson about breaking the color barrier, or fly on the wall of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig going out for dinner if they actually did.
Right.
So, by the way, I completely agree with you. The New York Knicks are the answer.
Yes. And as far as the city as a whole, it would be delirious because most of the city is different. Yeah, the city, and maybe it's going to change, or maybe it'll go to
well, you know what the difference is? World, the Knicks all of a sudden become a title contender. Giannis comes here, whatever it is. Those forerunners are likelier to be Knicks fans because they probably are Knicks fans.
Right.
So and I'll give you an example. In 2000, when the Mets and the Yankees are playing in the World Series, anyone who's on the fence was a Yankee fan.
Right.
Because the Yankees were better for a longer period of time. The Met fans were just Met fans. Now, in 2015, when the Mets are in the World Series, a lot more frontrunners.
Yeah,
only game in town at that point.
Oh, of course.
Same thing with the mid-'80s. So I think that when both teams are good, those kind of in-the-middle people will go more to the popular team.
Right.
And the other thing is, this is a small aspect of it, but I think this is an aspect. Knicks win an NBA title, that parade is in late June, early July.
Right.
The weather is gorgeous.
Right.
There'll be more people there than there would be in, February for the Jets Super Bowl party.
Right.
As big as it would be, it'd be big.
Yeah, it would be big. Yeah.
A couple of more Heyman updates on some baseball plans for 2020 we'll get to. Plus, we'll get back to your calls at 877-337-6666.
At Spectrum Business, you can count on us to keep you connected when it matters most with reliable internet, phone, and TV services. Our network was built to handle the capacity that today's challenges demand. We know these are difficult times for small businesses, and at Spectrum Business, we want to do more. That's why we're providing access to advertising resources, like a free video you can use in social media, on your website, or on TV. And we're providing small businesses opportunities for coverage on our Spectrum News Network. We're also working with SCORE, a nonprofit resource partner of the U.S. Small Business Administration that has mentors and advisors to help you navigate financial assistance and other challenges your business may be facing at no cost to you. To learn more about what Spectrum Business is doing and how we can help your small business, visit business.spectrum.com/count on us today. All trademarks of the property of their respective owners. Visit website for details.
UFC 249 is coming up this Saturday, and if I had to describe the card in a word, it would be finally. FanDuel Sportsbook knows that feeling, which is why they're going all out to celebrate the action. Right now, you can join FanDuel Sportsbook and get 10-to-1 odds on either Tony Ferguson or Justin Gaethje. That means you can bet just $10 to win 100 on either fighter. Pretty great, huh? But Tony Ferguson is undefeated in his last 12 fights, so he's the favorite. He hasn't lost a UFC bout in nearly 8 years. But Justin Gaethje is a hungry underdog who's definitely got something to prove. And speaking of hungry, did I mention that finally we've got some live sports to watch? To claim your exclusive 10-to-1 odds on UFC 249, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app or go to sportsbook.fanduel.com. And be sure to sign up with the promo code IT'STIME. That's FanDuel Sportsbook. Promo code IT'STIME, all one word, to get in on the action. 21 plus or present in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or Indiana. First online wager only. Max bonus $100. Terms apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey everybody, this is Boomer Esiason. On Monday nights, Rise Up New York Radiothon, which you can hear right here at 7 p.m. on WFAN, there will be a contest unveiled offering fans a chance to win a fantasy New York Giants prize, where Super Bowl players come to your house to play a game of touch football. Eli Manning, Michael Strahan, Phil Simms, and Justin Tuck will be on the Robin Hood Foundation Radiothon to unveil the contest. Fans can enter at omaze.com/giants. That's omaze.com/giants. All proceeds will go to help Robin Hood provide food and support for New Yorkers struggling from the coronavirus pandemic.
What is a community? A place you call home. But what happens when it doesn't look like home? It might look like we're standing apart, but we're all really standing together. Investors Bank has always been there for the communities we serve, and we are committed to providing service through our drive-through, mobile, and online banking. It's the character and strength to support each other that is what banking in your best interest is all about. Download our mobile app or go to investorsbank.com. Investors Bank, banking in your best interest. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Land Rover is committed to the health and safety of our customers during this unprecedented time, which is why we're offering new services for a safe shopping and purchasing experience. If you are in the market now for a new vehicle, enjoy 0% APR limited term financing for up to 72 months on select 2020 models. Excludes taxes, title, and fees due at signing, now through June 30th. Contact your tri-state area Land Rover retailer or call 1-800-54WD for details. Land Rover, above and beyond.
If you had COVID-19 and got better, you could help others by donating your blood. Mayo Clinic is leading a national emergency access program using donated blood plasma to help patients in the hospital with COVID-19. We ask those who have recovered from COVID-19 to donate plasma in the month following recovery when antibodies are strong. USCOVIDplasma.org and join the fight. Thousands are waiting at USCOVIDplasma.org.
Optimum is here to keep you connected throughout the workday, the school day, and the play day with high-speed 300 meg internet. Visit Optimum.com today to give everyone in your family the bandwidth for video calling to keep in touch with work, school, friends, and family, and to stream their favorite games, shows, and movies, all for just $39.99 a month for 1 year, with no annual contract and a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's 1.5 times the speed of Fios for $10 less per month. Plus, with speeds up to 1 gig now available, you can upgrade for even more speed and get price for life. Get the bandwidth to stay connected to work, school, and everything you love. Get 300 meg internet from Optimum for just $39.99 a month for 1 year. Visit Optimum.com to find out more.
For new residential customers, taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. Not transferable and not available in all areas. Must maintain all services that require the hold to maintain promo pricing. Advertised speed for wired connections up to 300 megs. Wi-Fi speeds may vary. Claim based on Verizon Fios online 200 meg internet with standard monthly bill. Offer ends at 4/20/20. See Optimum.com for details.
We believe backyards are built for everyone, and that lawns are always perfect for, well, anything we say they are. That's because at Scott's, we believe in the importance of being outside. Because we believe being outside is about more than a place. It's more than simply not being inside. To help you get what you need to go where you need. That hasn't changed. You need an oil change? Right now you can get 5 quarts of natural get it fast. Same-day delivery or free same-day pickup. In-store or curbside. The choice is yours. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Restrictions and details on AutoZone.com.
I'm Michael Wallace in the WCBS newsroom. A 5-year-old Westchester boy may have been the first to die of a shock light from this length of the coronavirus. The NYPD will limit crowd sizes in 2 cities this weekend to a social distance. Do your part to keep New York healthy and moving forward. House.com and Highway Patrol. Inbound Georgia could go to the and the Brooklyn down Manhattan level sponsored by TrueGreen.com/radio to save 50% on your spring application. True Green, they'll take care of your lawn. You take care of you. I'm Greg Rice with the SupplyHouse.com and Highway Patrol. Well, we got ourselves some sports. How about that? We actually have some sports to watch this weekend, and that would be UFC 249. It's coming up tomorrow, Saturday. We're all excited about it. The FanDuel wants to celebrate.
by giving you a great opportunity to win some money. They're celebrating the action by giving you 10-to-1 odds on either. You take your pick, Ferguson or Gaethje. That means you can bet $10 and win $100 on either fighter, which is an excellent, excellent deal. So we got live UFC action this weekend. The FanDuel Sportsbook app also has the future bets you can take a look at. The NFL, now we have a schedule, baseball as well. But for tomorrow night, there's a real event going on. Let's break it down a little bit. We got Ferguson, he's on C2 for Sportsbook, promo code, it's time, all one word. If you are in on the action, your opportunity to not only be entertained by sports, but actually win some money with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's time. 21 and over, present in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or Indiana. First online wager only. Max bonus $100. Terms apply. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Here's a few more things from Eamon on baseball, assuming we get it. Some possible MLB changes. Limited travel, which we've talked about. Right. No cross-country flights. More divisional play. Expanded rosters. Taxi squads. Expanded playoffs. More experiments, such as runner on second in extra innings. Right. More doubleheaders. Fewer off days. High-fiving and spitting discouraged or forbidden. One thing I like, because, look, I get that beggars can't be choosers. We get a baseball season, accept whatever we get. With that said, you always want to make things as fair as you possibly can. So here's the idea, all right? You play your division each time, 14 games against your division rivals, okay? You play interleague against the same division, so obviously AL East, NL East, again, limiting the traveling. Go to Boston, not a big deal. Yankees, Mets, no big deal. Play them 6 times. Each team 6 times. Not over the top. We had that with the Yankees and Mets. We have that every few years. Not a big deal. You do the math on that, 86 games. 86 games of 14 in division, 6 interleague. All right. Now, I mentioned the other day, 2 playoff teams from each division. Top 2 teams advance. That gives us 6 in each league, which is 1 more than we have now. Eamon said they're going to want a 7. The only problem, Joe, I have with a 7 is you're putting a team in that's probably going to get in based on the division or schedule that they face. You know, the Mets and the Cubs battling for a playoff spot just seems ridiculous, considering they play no teams that are the same. Yeah. But if you're only doing it with 1 playoff spot, like the 7th seed, I guess we could live with it. But I think that's the best way to go. You know, and you get more Mets Yankees, which makes sense from a travel perspective, and you really battle it out in the division. So it's a real true divisional race, and it works on the cutting down on travel. And that gets you 86 games, which I think, Joe, is a reasonable season. Reasonable season. I would agree. I have no issue with that. So I think that's the way you go. You sell it. I got no issue. Tell Manfred what you want to do. I think it's very reasonable. I do. Now, you want to test stuff out, fine, but do we really need to test out a runner on second? Well, if you're ever going to do it, this is the time to do it. If you're going to ever do anything like that just to see, hey, look, it may be a disaster. I mean, there was. If it could, we all think that, they're going to test it out and that's going to be, the gospel from now on. They could test it out and it could just be a disaster, too. Yeah. You don't know that. I guess my point is, why? What's the point of testing this out? I think that they figured that if there's ever going to be a time where they can do something like this is the time. Yeah, but is the reasoning that they want to limit pitchers being used is to cut down on extra inning games? Is that like the thought behind it? Because that's what I think the thought is, that they don't want games going 18 or 19 innings. I don't think they do. I think you're right. Yeah. Well, those are some of the ideas John Heyman is reporting, and hopefully we get to see all of it, because that means we have baseball. Right. Well, let's go to Ryan in Breezy Point. Hey, Ryan. Ryan, how are you?
Hey, guys. Watching this last documentary and talking about the Jordan and LeBron or the Jordan and whomever it be, I think the documentary has actually done a really nice job of illuminating some of the below the surface elements of the comparison between who would be the all-time greatest player. Just in the sense of the only people who could make these evaluations responsibly are over the age of 35 minimum, because they've had the opportunity to at least see Jordan and LeBron's career or a round sample of it. And there's things that Jordan says that inherently relate more for that generation of people. Like, the idea that Jordan's about to out there for 8 years, and kind of felt more of a connection than the NBA in general back then. The players felt more connected to their team and were willing to make it where they were at. You know, think of all the good players in that era that did win titles. And even the political that they touched on.
So let me ask you about radio shows and Twitter when they don't win enough. Michael didn't have to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like the criticism that the athlete feels now between Twitter and social media and television, everybody's got a TV show.
So the outside pressure gives the player today an excuse to try and find a grab and go increase. By the way, that mentality trickles down to the low levels of college basketball. You have a huge transfer epidemic in college basketball, which is the exponent of the same mindset.
No, but you're missing my point.
Big deal in football. I think you see a bigger transfer thing in college football than in basketball, to be honest with you.
But my point isn't that I'm excusing that mindset. I'm just saying that when we compare eras, there are a lot of aspects to the different eras. Lots of aspects. And that's one of them. You know, for all the things that LeBron doesn't have to deal with, like, I don't know, Bill Laimbeer trying to crush him on a basketball court, the physicality of the game, those are all fair points. But the point I'm bringing up is a little different. You know, Michael Jordan didn't win it first, right?
Right.
Can you imagine, and I'm sure he would have handled it well because I think Michael is the greatest of all time. That's my personal opinion. But could you imagine Michael having to deal with the stuff LeBron's dealt with?
Well, to some degree, he did have to deal with that in the early part of his career.
Not on the same level.
Well, not on the level. But again, Jordan was, there was never a time when Jordan was not beloved overall. I mean, LeBron is not that likable a figure like Jordan was. It's not even close.
No, and I think a lot of it is because he left. Like, I think before he left Cleveland, he was loved a lot more. But remember, and I know LeBron didn't handle himself well. In fact, he handled himself horribly. But after they lost that series to Dallas in 2011, his first year in Miami, he handled it horribly.
This is some things that Jordan would never say. I mean, Jordan would never say, you know, LeBron say something.
Yeah, I think that was after the Dallas series. Basically, I make a lot of money. I'm doing all right. You know, that kind of attitude. No, I completely agree. He handled it awful.
Right. And let me say this too. I mean, he's also made some political comments, LeBron, that he really had no business making. And I go to the stuff with China, with the Alcon thing and all, with Daryl Morey. Well, you know what the hell he's talking about. That's why. How'd that look now? What the kind of stuff he was saying when you look at China and what's happening.
Well, I think that's why you're always better off not saying very much for that reason. I say enough, don't say too much, you know? But I think there's a lot of different aspects, though. You know, that's something you bring upon yourself, right? When you make the decision to either get into talking about things outside of sports and not. We know about Michael. They did a great job of actually discussing that in the last part of the documentary. But when we talk about how this was so much tougher back in the late 80s and early 90s, a lot of that's true. But we can't ignore the stuff that's tougher now. And the social media and the millions of TV, that's an aspect we can't just forget about.
Yeah, it's, there's a million sports shows now, 8 gazillion. Everybody and their brother's got some kind of a sports show, some kind of a podcast, some kind of a, whatever you want to call it. They got something.
And that's a thing now. Because we talked about Wilt earlier. Wilt Chamberlain would have been called every name in the book in this era. What a loser. Comes up small.
It even was then. I mean, believe me, bro, even back then, there were whispers of that kind of thing about Wilt.
No doubt, but think about how the whispers are done back then. A newspaper article?
Yeah.
Now it's not only newspaper articles,
it's everything.
It's everything.
Like you said, Twitter, it's whatever social media you're involved in. I get it.
Now, with that said, I think Michael would have handled it perfectly. Because I do think that Michael knew how to handle a lot of different things.
Again, and I think the thing that sticks out with Michael more than anything else, and this, you can't say this about LeBron, is that Michael played all the time. Michael would play preseason games. Michael would play whatever. He wasn't missing games during the season because as you always said, you never knew when somebody was coming to see him for the first time, and he didn't want to disappoint anybody coming to see him play. And that is not something LeBron James certainly is doing.
LeBron, though, I don't know the amount of games. He does play a lot.
He does, but he still did things, he still took some time off the last few years.
Yeah, no,
He got hurt last year. I know the season before this season he was hurt. I get that.
I'm looking at his games played like 20. Last year he was hurt, so I mean that is what it is.
Right.
The year before that, played 82 games, led the league in minutes.
Okay.
Year before that, 74 games, led the league in minutes.
Right.
Year before that, 76.
Right.
69.
I still never heard LeBron make that comment that Michael Jordan made. I mean,
No.
Michael Jordan endeared himself to the masses more than LeBron has.
No, I agree with you on that. I just don't think that LeBron is the face of the maintenance era.
No, I don't think he's the face of that. No, I don't think,
Because he does play a lot.
No, I don't think he's the face of it. No, I wouldn't say that.
Because he's still going out there.
Leonard might be the face of that.
No, I know. No offense.
Right, but I mean, no, LeBron is not the face of it. But I mean, that's just like I said. I mean, that's one thing. I think Michael embraced, the fandom more than LeBron does.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
I don't know.
He doesn't turn people off the way LeBron does turn people off.
No, LeBron definitely turns people off. I just don't know about the games played thing.
Right.
Because he does play a lot. He plays a lot of minutes. Here's the thing that turned people off. When he left Cleveland.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Look, it was our last caller's overall point. I understand it. The mentality of I'm going to leave and go find a softer situation or a better situation.
Right.
That's where everything changed for LeBron James.
And he also has made some comments, like I said, that comment that he made about whatever it was, I remember when they lost the finals that time, I mean, when he basically called, I'm better than you, what do the little people know? Whatever the comment he said, that's something Jordan would never say.
Yeah, and that was something that, and this isn't an excuse because LeBron screwed this up, that's him reacting to all the criticism he was facing. So if he's playing in the late 80s, early 90s, that probably doesn't happen, but you can't react that way because that's going to cause people to be rooting for him. And what also happened is when he went to Miami, the world started rooting against him.
Yeah.
People started, everybody's rooting for the Mavericks.
Yeah.
So I think that was a factor.
Especially when they blew the series, because they had a 2-0 lead in that series, didn't they? They lost the last four, didn't they? Is that how it went down?
They had a 2-1 series.
2-1, okay.
Yeah, and they blew it. And it was led by LeBron James. Remember this about that series. Dwayne Wade was the best player on the Miami Heat in that series, and it wasn't very close.
Right.
Dwayne Wade was, not LeBron James. We'll come right back with more of your calls. This is Tiki Barber with a Radio.com sports medicines against the Kansas Jayhawks basketball program. Bill Self, the Hall of Fame basketball coach, has displayed a lack of institutional control, at least according to the sports governing body. This centers on roughly $100,000 paid to 3 top recruits and their families like TJ Gasnola, who was a consultant for Adidas. Kansas is an Adidas school, so the incentive to get top recruits to the Jayhawks seemed aligned, especially if those recruits turned out to be stars in college and in the NBA. But even if Self knew about the payments, does that make an Adidas representative a booster? The NCAA's Committee on Infractions will determine that soon, and at the same time, likely decide Coach Self's future in Lawrence. I'm Tiki Barber.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Termbusters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-569-5440. That's 1-800-569-5440. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Termbusters, 1-800-569-5440, or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-569-5440. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify. Paid for by Lose Debts. Attention, this is a very important message to anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt. With the coronavirus impacting all of our lives and unemployment expected to reach levels not seen since the Great Depression, the last thing you need to worry about are your credit card bills. In these uncertain times, it's important to know you are not alone, and Loose Debts has set up a special debt relief helpline for anyone who owes $10,000 or more in credit card debt. With our Debt Reset program, your debt can be reduced by more than half, and all future interest will be eliminated, making you debt-free in as little as 24 months. We understand the need to save money, so we do not charge upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. Best of all, we provide a 100% money-back guarantee. What are you waiting for? Speak to our agents today at 800-758-5930. That's 800-758-5930. Quit losing sleep over your credit card balance. Call us for help. 800-758-5930. Again, 800-758-5930.
Now an important message from Ralph Izzo, PSEG Chairman, President, and CEO.
At PSEG, we know that millions of customers rely on us to heat their homes and power their lives and businesses. I'm proud of the efforts of our dedicated employees who are hard at work making sure that customers have the energy they need to get through this challenging time. Through patience, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to the well-being of our employees, customers, and the communities we serve, we will get through this.
While hopefully you're all staying safe and healthy, many of you are probably at home now. You can use some of the time to spring clean with